my name's Glynllifon and I'm lucky enough to work in this location, which is called Glynllifon. I'm out today. They're just taking out some of the lambs that we born over the weekend, so they're sort of feeling their first sort of chilly winds. Here we have about 700 acres of land that we have within the college. So within that we have about 400 acres of agricultural land, and we also have about 350 acres of forest. So within that area we sort of manage the land as a farm. We have 4 different enterprises, so you have about 30 cows that sort of produce beef animals, so we call that our suckler herd. We also have a dairy herd of about 200. We also run the sheep, so we have a flock of about 600 sheep that we have. We also have a pig unit with about 50 sows kept in there in a nice modern facility. In addition to the agriculture courses that we run, we have forestry courses and countryside courses. So we obviously have about 350 acres of forest to look after, so we have all the activities that go on with there, so looking after the wildlife and also making sure that we have plantations and forestry to harvest. We also have courses that sort of look after the engineering side of things, all the equipment that we use within agriculture, all the foraging and the land management, and also the forestry machines are looked after as well with our departments who are in courses to look after those. We also have animal management courses, so courses that sort of look after more sort of traditional pet type animals and also exotics. So within there we have about 50 different species, so we have everything from sort of snakes and spiders and geckos up to sort of Shetland ponies and rabbits and ferrets and so on. We also have some owls that we look after, and also sort of varieties of different types of chickens and all sorts, so we have a good mix of different animals that we have to look after there. So at Glynllifon College we run sort of 4 different types of courses: agriculture courses, engineering courses, forestry countryside courses, and also animal management courses. And as you can see, it's a really nice place to be. Hello, my name's Glynllifon and I'm down here at the Animal Care Centre. So this is our current building. We're in the process of moving up to a new building that's been refurbished especially for these guys during the summer. Okay, so we're based at Glynllifon, which is just outside Carnarvon. So this is where we run all our animal care courses. So you can see that we have lots of examples of different animals. This is just one of our rooms. So within these different rooms we have sort of animals such as these, sort of rabbits and birds and so on. We also have some more rabbits and guinea pigs and skinny pigs next door as well. We also have some animals that are kept outside. So we have some goats and we have some Shetland ponies and so on, and we also have an exotics room, so that houses our snakes and lizards and geckos and so on. So overall we have somewhere around about 50 different types of animals that we can work with within the course. So with animal care we run courses at different levels. So we run a level 1, a level 2 and a level 3 course. So level 1 and level 2 courses are 1-year courses, and then the level 3 course is a 2-year course. So within those qualifications we have very similar sort of structure, so they're all sitting guilds qualifications. So they have a mix of practical assessments. So during the week each course will come down to this building or outside or to the exotics and do some practical activities with the birds, for instance. So they sort of look at the birds and sort of give them the feed and make sure they're all okay. And we also have different types of sort of animals we look after. So we have snails and so on, which maybe aren't sort of popular things in general, but it's important that we understand how they work and how they feed and so on. So during those activities you'll gain expertise and knowledge on the different types of food and different types of maintenance that all different animals require. You'll also be looking at the health of the animals as you go through, checking to make sure that you see certain points within each animal to make sure they're nice and healthy, any telltale signs that might sort of indicate there's something wrong. Obviously, to fully understand what's going on, we need to do the theory side of things as well. So there is quite a lot of time where you spend in the classroom looking at animal types and how they sort of interact with each other, and how we interact with them to make sure they're nice and healthy, and what sort of conditions they require, and sort of implications that might come around from different types of maintenance with them. The qualifications at level 1 will allow you to progress on to level 2, obviously, level 2 onto level 3. So the level 2 courses, for instance, are sort of GCSE equivalent type qualifications. Level 3 courses are more towards A-level type qualifications. So we do get some that sort of progress on to university afterwards to do degree courses in animal management, animal care, different types of sort of animal related qualifications. And we also have obviously quite a majority that move on to employment, so they can work within sort of parks and sort of animal centres, and sort of look after the animals in those particular areas. So the assessment for the qualifications are sort of varied. So we have sort of formal, externally set examinations, where you have to study and learn and sort of answer the questions as you go. We also have what's known as synoptic assessment, which means that there's a combination of theory and practice going together to sort of give a holistic view of your understanding of a process to do with animals. So at the end of the 1 year or the 2 year course, you'll end up with a qualification certified by sitting guilds, and that will allow you to progress into the different areas that you want to go. Okay, so if you have any questions or anything else you'd like to know about these qualifications, then if you have a look at our website, you'll be able to find an area there that you can ask some questions, get in touch with the teaching staff, and you'll be able to get more specific information if you want to sort of progress with an application. Okay, so hopefully we'll see you. We'll see you in a new area by next September, and good luck. Okay, bye. Okay, so here we are in the new animal care development. So over here we're sort of establishing a new centre for our animal care courses. So here we have, for example, one of the teaching buildings. So in here we're going to have the exotics, for instance, and quite a few IT rooms. Down the far end we've got some IT rooms and also a dog grooming room that we've got to use. And then we've got buildings like these that have been sort of established so that we have somewhere to keep all the animals. So in here we'll have things like rabbits and guinea pigs, and some other sort of things like horses, Shetland ponies that we've got. So we're sort of keeping those outside but still on the yard and so on, so we've got access to them. Hello, my name's Glynllifon and I work at Glynllifon. So Glynllifon is land-based studies, part of Group Glynllifon, so we do all these sort of agriculture courses. So I'm here today with some of the calves that were born in October. So these are being brought up and ready to join the milking herd that we have here. So we're aiming to have about 200 milking cows sort of by this time next year. So we're sort of building on that slowly. So as a farm, we have about 400 acres of agricultural land, and within that we have different enterprises, so the students have different experiences while they're here. So we have the milking herd, which these are going to be eventually part of. We also have a 50 sow pig unit, which is quite a modern establishment. We have a flock of about 600 ewes, and we also have about 30-35 beef suckler herd as well. So during the courses, you'll have experiences going out onto the farm to do various different activities. So we have fairly small groups that do the pracs, for instance. So every week the groups go out and do about a day practical, whichever course that they're on. So that gives them experience of sort of dealing with things that you might be familiar with from home, you know, if you come from a farm, but it also gives you experience of dealing with different types of animals and different ways of working as well, by sort of rotating around the various enterprises we have. So we run two types of courses. We run a level 2 course, which is equivalent to GCSEs, and we also run a level 3 course, which is equivalent to A levels. So at the end of those courses, you'll have qualifications that you could move on with into whatever you want to do next. So if you do the level 2 course, you can progress onto the full-time level 3 course if you want to. You can also move across into apprenticeships, so we run agriculture apprenticeships as well on that side of things.
Same with the level 3, you know, once you finish the level 3 course, you'll have the equivalent of about 3 A levels, something like that. So if you want to go to university, you're sort of able to do that. So quite a good proportion of level 3 students progress onto that side of things. You can go and sort of work, start your employment, or you can sort of move across into an apprenticeship as well. So we run apprenticeships with agriculture at different levels, so that's an option for you as well. So lots of different places that you can progress onto. Level 2 courses are BTEC courses, so they're sort of assignment based. So during the year you'll sort of add towards your knowledge and complete assignments as you go along. So that's fairly continual assessment as you go. With the level 3 courses, we're looking at sitting guilds courses, which are more technical in nature, and within those we'll have examinations, sort of formal examinations, and we'll also have formal practical examinations. So a different type of assessment that takes place, so we'll prepare you for those as they come along as well. During the courses, as I say, you'll do about a day a week sort of outside, and then you'll progress your practical understanding, and also you'll progress your theoretical knowledge in order to be able to progress within the industry. Work experience is fairly important, and what we tend to do is if you're from a farming background, from a farm, what we ask you to do is go to a different establishment to do your work placements. The idea is that you'll have different experiences, you work with different people, work with different types of systems, and that sort of enhances your knowledge of the industry for you to be able to progress afterwards. Okay, so those are the 2 agriculture courses that we run here. So you say they're fairly straightforward in how we run them, and you get lots of different experiences as we go. And you know, the idea is that you'll have a good mix of practical and theory knowledge by the time you come to the end of the qualifications. So if you're looking for the stuff on the website, you know, if you look for Glynllifon, you'll come across our courses. If you have any questions or anything further you want to ask, then, you know, feel free to get in touch, and I'm sure one of the guys will get in touch to give you what information you want. Okay, so good luck to you all, and hope to see you here next September. Okay, bye.
Okay, so here I am outside the countryside and forest management department. So as you can see behind me, some trees been planted. It's a few years ago now, but they're still managed. I have to look after them to make sure that they're growing correctly in order to be harvested and moved on to the market. So these courses sort of look after the sort of lumber part of what we do here, and also look at the environment and how this affects the wildlife and sort of maintaining their habitats and so on. Okay, so the idea is that we sort of manage the land. There's about 350 acres of forest here at Glynllifon. So it's got a lot of practical work. Courses usually do about a day a week where they're out on site carrying out different activities, doing estate management, or, you know, they're working in the forest or looking at the sort of wildlife aspects of what we have here. So the idea is we, for instance, grow these trees behind us. Eventually we end up with wood that's been harvested, like this for instance. So, you know, there's quite a lot of time that sort of passes between one stage and the next, but you have to manage all these facilities to make sure that things are growing correctly and working correctly. We also have a permanent wood mill, so you can see just behind me maybe some of the machines that we use to forest to bring the wood in from the forest. Yeah, so we have all these sort of technologies available for us as well. So it's quite a varied course, different things going on, different things happening. Assessments for the 2 level of courses that we run level 2 course and level 3 course. Level 2 course is sort of like a mix of practical and assignment work on the theory side of things, and then with the level 3 course that has more of an assessment process where there's an official examination that you take, and also sort of practical work is assessed formally in relation to that qualification. Level 2 courses, something equivalent to like GCSE level. Level 3 courses equivalent to about 3 or 4 A levels, depending on what you want to do. With level 3 courses you can progress on to university if that's what you want to do. So quite a few guys go to do sort of land management, countryside environment or forestry type courses. Level 2 courses, they allow you to sort of progress onto level 3 course obviously, but also to move into work as well. So there's quite a lot of demand for people to go into work from these courses. So quite a majority of our students sort of progress onto full-time employment, usually with sort of land management, tree management type companies and organisations. So we do short courses to do with sort of maintaining and using chainsaws, for instance, to make sure that you have all the right sort of tickets before you sort of progress onto the workplace. Okay, so just a brief outline of what we have here on the countryside management and the forestry courses.
So here in the workshop, the level 2 and level 3 land-based technology students spend a great amount of time here in the workshop, gaining experiences on repairing tractors and machinery that we use behind tractors. And also the agricultural students use the workshop where they study courses to use and maintain machinery.